back to the Raw Room. Easy.
Welcome back to the Raw Room, ladies and gentlemen. We have a big guest, Coach Bruce Pearl of the Auburn Tigers, my school, my loves, my favorite. Welcome, Bruce Pearl. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for having coming on with us. Now, let's go get started. Now, we coming off from a heartbreaker last night versus Arkansas. It was a tough one. It was an up and down game. I felt like, you talked to the team. I'm sure you didn't watch the film and all that. We all saw the game. We were coaches on Twitter. I was one of those coaches on Twitter going live. I'm a part of that Auburn community on Twitter. But was it a stressful game as far as it's missing shots and trying to keep your guys in the game, keep their head up? Because when Kessler found out, he was struggling as far as his emotions. I can tell they really hurt him. So I'm just wondering, as far as talking to your guys in the locker room about that type of loss from being number one, 19 games in a row. Just tell us how you help them bounce back.
Well, I think last night was good for college basketball.
Absolutely.
Arkansas has been in the SEC for a long time now, and number one's never visited there since they've been in the SEC. Well, Auburn came in, big prize on our head, and they stepped up to the challenge. They had a great crowd, great environment, very hostile, and they got a court storm, and they got an overtime win. For us, we competed, which is something you would expect, because that's what this team's done. We've come back from double-digit deficits on the road 4 times already this year.
Okay.
And we had a double-digit deficit in this game, and we were in position to win it again. But you got to play better than we did to win. We turned it over too much. Give them credit, but we turned it over too much. And then we missed, too many free throws, and that was unusual, uncharacteristic.
Absolutely.
And when you combine those two things, you're gonna get beat. And so I think for us, we just continue to do what we do all year long. Let's keep working. Let's keep getting better, and let's see if we're good enough to win on that night.
Absolutely. Now, I'm gonna bring this up a few times throughout this our time here. My time at Auburn, 09 to 12, you came in as I was leaving, and the atmosphere around the arena is not what it is today. Today, you got guys camping now. We got people camping out. You going out there with the students. What does it mean to have college game day? When the Texas A&M come to Auburn, what does that mean to the team?
All right. Well, Daren, it means so much to me because it means so much to you. It means so much to your brothers and our Auburn family and our students. When you get ranked number one, College Day comes in, it says that you're amongst the best. Isn't that what we always try to do? That's what we compete. That's why we take the field. That's why we take the court. That's why we make the sacrifices that we make. College Game Day could be anywhere. They're going to be at Auburn and actually going to be there for our Outlive game. I'm proud. I got my T-shirt on. This is Auburn Fight Against Cancer.
All right. Yeah. Yes, sir.
The best way to outlive cancer is to find out you got it early.
Yeah.
So for all of your listeners, it's a reminder, ladies, you know what you got to do. Guys, the prostate cancer screenings and all the things that you need to take place. And, with COVID and everything else going on, a lot of people put that stuff off to the shelf and put it aside. And then all of a sudden they find out they got cancer, and sometimes it's too late. So we got to remember, the best way to outlive cancer is to detect it early.
Absolutely.
But it's good. We know we got a really good team, and whether or not we're going to be a champion, well, that's to be determined.
Mm-hmm.
And whether we're going to make a run, well, we're going to have an opportunity, and a lot of teams don't even have that opportunity. Let's see how this thing continues to play out.
I would definitely love to see a run like 2019. Man, that was my first time ever going to the March Madness. I was in there coaching me and Sean Coleman. I'm talking, we was down there going crazy. That was a horrible call by the refs, but we ain't even talking about that. Is Jabari Smith the most talented player you ever coached?
He is. He's the best player I've ever coached. And you know what's interesting? People get talent confused. They think you're born with it, and that's it. Sometimes it's a blessing. Sometimes it can be a curse, because God blessed him with his size and his mom and dad putting that whole thing together. Let me tell you something. nobody's worked harder. Nobody's been more disciplined. No family has ever, in my way of looking at it, put him in position to be successful through hard work and discipline at a young age. So when other kids before school, were going to McDonald's and figured out how they could be late for class, he'd already been in the gym all morning, already worked out, already got his shower, and he's already ready for class. So he's had to grow up faster. And he's obviously taken full advantage of God's blessing.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Just watching him is just like, I wish he would stay longer. He's out of here.
He's out of there.
He's out. Enjoy him when you got him. Enjoy him while you got him.
As a coach, though, have you ever had, any personal rivalries as far as other opposing coaches when you see them, like, no matter where you coaching or who coaching over on the other side, like, when you see them, you like,
I don't like any of them.
Coming in hot.
No, and they don't like me.
Yeah.
Look, but I respect them all.
Yeah.
I respect them all. And man, you don't get to this level, you ain't coaching the SEC unless you know what you're doing. So I've got great respect for all of them. But, this isn't Valentine's Day. I ain't sending none of them Valentine's cards.
Yeah.
Right?
But being a high energy coach, for me, I'm a high energy player. I love my team, so I don't go crazy on the sideline when I'm watching the offense or even when I'm that guy. I'm always trying to be extra. And you are that type of high energy coach. And I was like, were you always that way in your young years, at Milwaukee, at Southern Indiana, all the places? Were you the same way?
I think that's a great comment. So when I worked for Dr. Tom Davis, and he was my mentor, look, if you're any good at anything, chances are you had a pretty good teacher along the way. Somebody taught you how to do what you're doing. Okay. When I left TD, he said, here's my one piece of advice. Go ahead and teach what you know. Teach what you've been taught. It's okay to do what we do. But he said, but be yourself. Don't try to be me. He was Dr. Tom Davis. He was and synonymous with what a doctor teaching basketball would be like. I'm nothing like that. He said, be yourself. And so I don't have to fake it. I don't have to try to be anything that I'm not. So, for better or worse. Now, look, I'm trying to get better, and it's not that my way is the best way. So being passionate came naturally to you.
Yeah.
And so, and that was great. But if one of your teammates played better by just being as quiet as a church mouse, well, guess what? Shh. Let him play. Let him do what he do. He don't have to be you for that team to be successful. He's got to take. So I just think a lot of times, even in leadership and things like, we try to force kids to be something they're not. Like even on the basketball court, I'm gonna let Wendell Green be Wendell Green, and I'm gonna let
hold on. Even with the logo, three.
Come on, man. You better guard him when you better guard him.
Hey,
he pulled that shit. I was like, all right, God damn, no.
Sometimes it's gonna work out. Sometimes it's not.
I feel you.
Right.
I'd rather see him pull from like 25 to 28, 35 to 38.
Yeah, me too. At least wait till Kessler get down there. He can rebound that thing or something. Not while he's setting the pick.
But if volleyball line, you see me?
Yeah, that was deep one. That was a deep one. I feel him though. If you had to coach one sport other than basketball, what would you think it'd be?
I'll be football.
Oh, I'm glad you said
no. Don't
change it up.
Pop Warner. No, it'd be like I'd want to coach youth football.
Why you?
Okay. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Well, I was probably a better football player than I was a basketball player, a baseball player. I love the sport.
What position you play when you play football?
Quarterback and outside linebacker. And I like playing outside linebacker way more than quarterback.
Yeah.
You
on
go to pass rush. Yes, sir.
Yes,
I don't blame you. You don't want, that's what I was taught when I was young. When I figured out that I want to play defense, my dad was like, do you want to be the one getting hit or do you want to be the one doing the hitting?
Simple.
Okay, yeah, I know what I want to do.
Yep.
Are there any of the, today's NBA players that you might show to your team, your players, like to mold or be like, or just to help them get a start of navigation to groom themselves to be?
Yeah, I think it's really important that our guys watch those players to the next level and try to figure out who they resemble. Because you can't be great at anything unless you're already good at it. So what are you good at? And then go take what you're good at and go try to become great at it. Rather than recognizing what you're not very good at and try to work really hard on that. So which player or players have some of the similar skill sets to you? Right. Go watch them and learn, obviously learn, from them. And same thing, coaching, what Steve Kerr and the Golden State Warriors do, for example. Obviously that spread and the way they approach the game, that's probably, I don't know that we're not similar, but I like that attack.
I feel you on that one now. One of my favorite coaches that I try to mold myself to be like as far as IQ in the game is Mike Vrabel, head coach of the Tennessee Titans now. Mike Vrabel was on another podcast with a friend of mine that he had a question about what he would do if he could, like what would he give up to win a Super Bowl? And his explanation was that he would chop his dick off. So my question to you is, what would you give up or what would you do to win a national championship?
You know what? My first reaction is I would take a different approach.
Yes, we all would.
Yes. Certainly than that.
Yes.
Approach than that. But I don't think you don't have to give anything up to make that happen. By the way, Mike Vrabel going to win it. He's going to win a Super Bowl one day because he's really good.
Absolutely.
And he was one of my favorite Patriots.
You can't tell him no about his Patriots. Oh yeah, you're a Boston, Massachusetts born and raised, baby.
Boston, Massachusetts born and raised, and I know you guys are in the ATL, and that's rough. That was a rough one. What was it, 28-3?
Jalen had to partake in that one. I was
Why'd you have to bring that up, Coach?
I'm sorry.
Why you had to bring that up?
No, just because I'm keeping it real.
Go ahead.
Hey, wait a second. Look who just walked into my office. Hey, that's
what's happening, man. Hey, we just got to talk about you, of course. Come on now.
All right, so listen. Jabari and I are going to meet in a few minutes, so we got a couple more minutes.
Let's go. No problem, man. We ain't going to mess that up. Hey, while we on got Jabari in here, one thing I was watching and I've been peeping on is the flex offense, how you run that. And it's like opposing teams know you about to run the flex, but you still run it anyway. And how do you teach it? Like, how do you get it to your players as far as knowing what they got coming and you still running and still doing the same thing?
Well, it's basically a 4-out, 1-in base. And it just allows just for a little bit of spacing, a little bit of structure. And, we do some things. It's just sort of our base offense and our base secondary. But we're primarily a ball screen offensive team. But I'm old school. I don't mind it, admitting it. And we get some pretty good looks at it with our screening action, our step-in action, our pin-down action. It does provide us with some opportunity. And it keeps the flow spread.
Absolutely. I like that. I'm born and raised, Jalen, almost kind of born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee. At a time when Memphis was number 1 in the country, Tennessee was number 2. That was a crazy time to be in the state of Tennessee, man. It was great. Like, explain, like, that's when I first know who Bruce Pearl was, the orange jacket on and going crazy on the sideline. That's the first Bruce Pearl I ever saw. Like, it's just explain that time in your career.
Sure. Hey, so where'd you go to high school in Memphis?
I went to Christian Brothers. I went to Christian Brothers and I transferred to Olive Branch.
Yeah, OB, baby.
Wow. So, golly, Christian Brothers, y'all had a defensive end that went to Tennessee.
Chris
He's now
Walker.
a pastor up there.
Chris Walker.
I
played with
Chris.
And
his wonderful mama.
Yeah. She's glorious.
Great woman. Yep. Great lady.
Yes.
I was there when Chris was playing, and he was down in Chattanooga as a man. KD Johnson just walked in the house too, man.
We got everybody in here. Let's go.
The team
come on, podcast in the ATL. Come on in here. Lean in there.
What's happening? That NIL money look good on you, son. That NIL money.
Right. Big chain.
I feel you, boy.
Hey, Coach, let him know we didn't have no NIL deals when we was in school. Wasn't no chains, none of that.
My chain with keys to my dorm room, baby.
Yeah, well, I've always been in favor of a realistic scholarship, and tuition, room, board, books is not enough.
Absolutely.
You know what I always thought would be a great thing before even NIL was revenue sharing. I always thought that with the revenue that we're making, why not do sort of like an annuity for players, say for a year, and we're going to put this in an annuity for you. You've earned it. Now we can't give it to you right now because you're an amateur and you're not a pro, but when you get done after a certain number of years, what a great way for a guy to walk out with $50,000 in an annuity. And I thought about that years and years ago. But look, I'm glad now that the kids are able to, be able to benefit from their work and from with their platform. And I think it's a good thing. But I will tell you, guys like Jabari Smith, he ain't worried about his NIL. He's worried about winning.
Absolutely.
He's worried about training. He's worried about his teammates. Yeah. And I'm just saying that sometimes you best not let that be the focus. Because sometimes it takes your eye off of what's most important.
Yeah, it sounds like just being in the present. And that's what I feel like you should be as a college athlete, being in the present, loving everything going around. Like you guys at the football games, you know what I'm saying? Y'all going crazy, that's just being in the present, just loving everything going on, not expecting anything, not, looking for any handouts or anything like that. And I love that about what y'all got going.
I'm going to share this with you. I had a conversation with Dylan Cardwell this morning, and Dylan asked me a question. He said, Coach, I'm grateful for the opportunity. But what player, he said, the thing I wrestle with is wanting more. We all want a little bit more. Think about when you guys are playing, when you got that more. And here was my advice to him. And he and I talked about this a lot. Do the very best with what you got. Like make this the best podcast.
Right.
Make this job the best job. Be the best father. Be the best friend. Live in the moment. Like for Jabari Smith, make this the best freshman year. For KD Johnson, make this the best sophomore year. And don't worry about anything else, because if you take care of your business, everything else will take care of itself. But so many guys, unfortunately, you get thinking about other things. And that's something that just jumped out at me that I wanted to share.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Would you say Auburn is coming like a little, PGU, point guard university right now? Because it's a lot of, Zep, Shareef, Wendell, you know what I'm saying? Them boys is really up there. Jared, all them boys.
It's certainly been a place where guards that are 6'1" and under or whatever have excelled. Like KD don't want to be included in that group. He thinks he's 6'5".
I can tell by his energy, bro. He got his heart bigger than his body. You feel me? I like that. I like that. That's
no doubt.
Yeah.
Right.
And you could always knows what's going on. You could just read his face. You know what's going on.
Yeah.
But he's become a great favorite. But yeah, this has been a place. I think you got to let your guys do what they do, and what are they good at? Put them in situations where they can be great at it. Right. And don't try to make them into some other mold. Don't try to make them who they're not. And that's obviously been a real key.
Now, when you play football, I'm sure they had the drill, Oklahoma drill. The same drill we all did. Now on this podcast, we have a thing we call the Oklahoma drill. We put two things together. It can be anything random in the world. So we got right now. Would you coach for 10 more years, or would you want to win a championship this year and never coach again?
I'll say the championship.
I feel you. I would just say
Now that's something I would give up. I'd give up 9 more years to win a championship this year if you made me trade off. Yeah, but I wouldn't. I'm not making the other trade. I'm just saying.
Hell yeah,
man! The energy on the campus for a basketball championship, I think it'll be different from football. Well, I'm sure it'll be different from football, but it'll just be amazing to see, to have it on the campus.
First things first. We're trying to win an SEC championship.
Absolutely.
And we'll take that. And our focus is just going to continue to grind, continue to work, continue to get and enjoy the moment, enjoy the camaraderie, enjoy the brotherhood. And man, I appreciate being on with you guys. I really did. I'm I'm gonna get visited with
Already
these
now,
guys
y'all
right
do
here,
y'all
right
thing.
now.
Y'all handle up. Y'all talk ball. Y'all do whatever y'all got to do, baby.
Nah, yeah, we definitely appreciate you, Coach.
We appreciate you coming on.
Man, you guys are doing a
talking
great
with us.
job in the ATL. You guys are famous, man. Your podcast is famous. We're proud.
Big facts.
We're proud. We're proud of what you're doing, man.
Hey,
Keep
I
it going.
appreciate it. I'll see y'all in March.
You too, Feyzan. You take care.
All right, now, Coach.
War Eagle, man.
War Eagle.
Peace.
If you have something to say, need a place to help you say it, check out the boys at the Raw Room Media Group to get information on recording the session.
Appreciate y'all for listening. Hey, follow us. Follow us at the Raw Room, Twitter, Instagram. Follow me at Wesson_Son56 on Instagram. On Twitter, DB_5Trey.
Follow your boy JC, JCar_11, Twitter, Instagram, JCar_32. And the Raw Room is at raw__room.
Roomies, we appreciate y'all for listening. We'll tune in for your next week. Easy.